Oh Christ, we're looking at this again, aren't we? Yep, it's the Megadrive arcade classic console made by a mob called AtGames. In case you have not seen my review of it, here's Warnie to give you a quick summary. Thank you, Warnie. Yep, now we're not going to look at that again. Instead, we're going to look at the thing that I didn't get a chance to look at in the video review. This cartridge, 40 bonus games in one, it claims. Well, we've already seen Fight and Lose and Mr. Balls, or rather, I've mentioned it. We've also got Bottle Taps Race, Cannon, Bomber, something involving spiderwebs, Naval Power, Checker, Air Hockey, a little bit more of the sticker. Yeah, it's just the same as on the front. Alright, I'm going to go through each and every one of these games because they're not actual, dodgy rip-offs like I've been reviewing recently. These are actually all original games. So I'm going to have to put myself through hell for you, just for entertainment's sake. Enjoy. The first game in our torture cartridge is Air Hockey, a simple pastime of local arcades and pubs. Sadly, this version comes with horrible music as standard. Have a listen. Also, it seems to have been programmed by someone who has never played a game of air hockey in their life. You score by shooting into the corners instead of the actual goal, and your mallet can go freely into the opponent's half. It's not fun. Black Sheep. 5 sheep appear, 1 sheep faces in a different direction. Press the D-pad to match the odd sheep. Rubbish. Next up is a clone of Bomberman named Bomber. Quite original, isn't it? It plays like a jerkier version of Bomberman with bad music once again. It's alright, but not worth purchasing if you have access to any other version of Bomberman ever made. However, their options screen does have the following gem. Bottle Taps Race has to be one of the most monotonous games I've ever played. Play as a bottle tap. I'm pretty sure that should actually be a cap, and slowly nudge it around a course without going out. You cannot cut corners, otherwise you miss a turn. Not only is grass growing more fun, it is also more productive. Rain Switch. A letter and a number appear. Press the button if they are either a vowel or even number. The game lasts for a minute before telling you how shit you are. Next. The bizarrely named Bulls and Cows has nothing to do with a farmyard, but rather it's a poor man's version of Mastermind. Try and guess the 4-digit combination in as little guesses as possible. No thanks. Cannon. Fire a cannon at someone else until you win. Nothing more, nothing less. Checker is just the single-player variant of Chinese checkers. The controls are confusing, but otherwise there are various boards, and it plays like the actual board version. However, the game does insult you if you fail. It just wouldn't be a game compilation without chess. It plays like you would expect, and the AI does seem decent enough. However, the music is horrible, once again, and would not be allowed in any chess tournament ever. Just to prove that my theory was correct, I tested it recently. Here's what happened. Whoa! Exciting times ahead with Colour Puzzle. A word colour appears on the left and you are to push a button if it matches the text colour on the one on the right. Another game that only plays for 1 minute. The excitement continues with Cross the Road. As you probably guessed, it is a Frogger clone, and as far as they go, this attempt is pretty piss poor. It's far too easy, there are only cars, so the scenery isn't that good, and less said about the music the better. Also, a glitch occurred during my first playthrough of this where I could not die and the cars would just drag me along the screen instead. It's worth missing this one. Sadly, this is not the favourite pastime of our Canadian friends, but a game where you must throw all your balls over to the other side of the table. One of the few games that gives you a suggestion on what to do with this whole cartridge when you win it. In a disappointing turn, the interestingly named Fight and Lose is actually Fight or Lose. More sadly, it isn't an oriental fighter as the title screen suggests, but a single-player version of chess, where you use a knight to eliminate all the pawns on screen. It's alright, but it would feel more at home on a mobile device as a time killer. Shittiness continues with Firefly Glow. Fireflies glow in a certain order. For some reason, you use a magic wand to repeat that order. If you enjoyed this game, feel free to tap your head repeatedly against the nearest metal object you can find for a similar pleasurable experience. Not Bruce from Not Finding Nemo makes a cameo in the title screen for Fish Story. You begin life as a small fish eating smaller fish until you become the biggest fish in the pond. It's rather dull. Flash memory! Numbers appear on screen for about half a second, and you then choose the numbers in ascending order. Formula Challenge is not a cheap version of Mario Andretti Racing, but another maths game. Two numbers appear on screen, and you push a button if they are greater than, less than, or equal to each other. Annoyingly, even though the greater than symbol is pretty much a right arrow, it's assigned to the left D-pad, and vice versa, making the game very confusing. Hexagonos, or Hexagonos, or however you pronounce it, is a strategy game where you, as either a cell or bacteria, dominate and control your opposition. It's like Reversi, but more shit. What's this? Do we have a game about urination? No! Jack's P is where you jump onto higher platforms. I'll be quiet so we can appreciate the tension that this game provides. Finally, Duel Magic is a columns rip-off where you match not only colours but arrows as well. Rather bizarrely included, considering that the officially blessed columns is included as standard on the Megadrive console. Still beats that creepy version on the DVD player that I looked at a while back there. And that's where we'll leave the review for now, because we can only take so much insanity before we start gnawing our kneecaps off. I've already lost half my leg in the review process. Anyway, that's beside the point. The other 20 games we reviewed at some other time. Before we go, let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. Yeah, I sort of saw that one coming.